Very rarely do I see a film and question myself, what did I just watch? And actually really enjoyed it. And that brings me to the review of the new film, Disenchanted. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film, Disenchanted, which releases on Disney Plus November 18th. I gotta tell you, this film is just off the rails, and for whatever reason, I enjoyed it, and I still think to myself, like, what did I watch? But it's such a beautiful mixing bowl of craziness, all stirred into a pot, and somehow made a three-stack cake that is actually good. I just don't get it. I guess it's truly the Disney magic here. And no, I have not seen the prequel Enchanted. I don't even know how I overlooked it. But now having a chance to check this out, I leaped at it. I looked at the cast. Also got to meet some of the cast at D23. So I was like, yeah, let's see what this is about. And from Patrick Dempsey to Maya Randolph, to YMB, Yvette Nicole Brown, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely in. Just that alone. And as a person who don't like musicals, if you are a fan of my reviews or my channel, then like, I'm not really down for the musicals. I actually enjoyed them a lot because I thought that Amy Adams as our lead and Giselle really carried this film vocally and energy as well too. And I get what her character is, so she kind of has to put out that sort of energy and persona around her. But we also see her kind of switch up a little bit in this film as well too, and it's still, her vocals still command your attention. So whether I don't like the random songs that are just being broken out any given time, I thought that her voice, along with the others as well too, because there's some other performances as well too, were really strong. And I it's just Disney at its best. That's just truly the way to look at this. But like this film, if you've never seen Enchanted like myself, and you step into it Disenchanted, you're gonna be like, what is happening? Because there's so many random things happening. And the biggest thing, folks, which is really my favorite part of this film, is that it looks at all of the Disney princess tropes and adds its own twist to it. And thus, this creates a plethora of Easter eggs throughout this entire film, where you're looking at things where you're like, oh, I know what that's referenced to, or I know what that's a nod towards. And even something that's just blatantly right in front of you, like a Cinderella dress, and you're just like, yeah, I absolutely know what that is. And takes its own little twist on it, and it makes sort of it makes this a parody in this sense. And I enjoyed that so much. And then, if that wasn't enough, you do have a live action aspect to this, and then you also have an animation side to this as well too, which, let's just say, the visuals for both are fantastic, considering the CG used for the live action, but the animation is also Disney at its best. What can you expect with Disney? You're always going to get really good animation, and the continuity between when you switch over, it doesn't drop off the flow of the story that's being told. So this random mixing bowl of a movie, utilizing all of the Disney stuff that's available in terms of Disney princesses, it works. I tell you what's funny about this. I don't see them often, but if you came up in my era, there was tons of knockoffs for the famous Disney stories. I can't even name any of them right now, but there's tons of knockoffs. It is like it took sort of the knockoff story and then kind of made them into a combining universe of all of them together, all in this, and it just, for some reason, somehow it worked. What a funny story. But yeah, the musicals were random because the musical performances, because it's a musical, is random, but the vocalists, all of them were super strong to the point I didn't even mind it. I can't emphasize enough, I'm not a fan of musicals, so like coming out with a musical performance in a rant and just in the middle of a conversation is kind of like, okay, that's not necessary. Or just these random dancing and all those sorts of different things. It's kind of like, okay, whatever. But they were good. I can't even fake. The costume designs up and down the board was good. Everybody's costume was on point. And again, even for not have seen the prequel, I actually enjoyed just jumping into this blinded for what this film was going to be. And speaking of what this film is going to be, this now takes place 10 years after the wedding of Giselle and Robert. Giselle played by Amy Adams, Robert by Patrick Dempsey. And Giselle's not feeling the New York life. It's not magical. It's the concrete jungle, okay? So, you know, she feels like it's time to up and move the family to a more magical location. And what place could that be? I almost made a joke, but I'll let that slide. But she goes to this very off the grid, really suburbish looking countryside town in Monroeville, which in this case, like, it totally fits, you know, what she's accustomed to. You know, coming from Andalasia, you know, this looks like the aesthetic that she was used to. So it makes sense that this would make her more comfortable. But obviously, that's just half the job, because she's in the search for more magic. But when she gets there to this suburbia, there's already a whole new hierarchy. There's already a hierarchy in place that makes her feel out of place. And so as she tries to navigate through this and try to get the magic going, yes, not all things goes as planned. And then you sort of got this little friendly rivalry along with some other things. Morgan plays a big part in this as well too. Morgan, who isn't all for the Giselle magic and whatnot, which makes her the rebellious stepdaughter. Yeah, so you got a couple of little different things going on, but like I said, Giselle definitely goes on a flip-flop adventure, and Morgan and Robert actually gets kind of strung along in all of this. But yeah, with all the randomness that goes on, the story was interesting. I really enjoyed Maya, who plays, well, when you get to that new town, you'll see what she is. I'll just leave it at that. James Marsden, who plays Edward, who I assume was in the prequel as well too. Completely just this energetic knight, prince, whatever. Completely funny. Oh my god, there's so many likable characters in this. Whether they serve a big purpose in the plot or whether they're just here for random comedic reliefs, there's a lot of good acting in this, and just randomness and laughs. And I tell you, it's hard to tell what genre this is in, because this feels like it fits in like a bunch of different things. Like, it's a musical, it's a fantasy, it's romantic, it's a comedy. There's like a lot of different things kind of going on. I'm just like, what is happening? No, he's King Edward, excuse me. So yeah, it's a lot that goes on in this. And I again, what did I watch? I don't know, but I enjoyed it. And if you've seen the first one, then you're probably already on board for the second. But if you're coming into this, you know, much like myself, kind of fresh, yeah, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat, right in time for the holidays. But yeah, folks, check out Disenchanted. It's going to be on Disney Plus, November 18th. Jump in the comments, folks. Let me know your thoughts about it. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.
Big go back.